Hi everybody and welcome back to Skipper Sandra. I'm your skipper, Sandra. I hope you guys have been having a great week. So remember in the last episode, we had this beautiful cowl. It was just one skein of both colors and I actually was able to get two of these cowls out of it. So my daughter and I are now twinsies and we each have one. Remember I told you, or I'm pretty sure I put it down below, and if I didn't, I will, I promise this time. Not only the pattern for the cowl, but also she has a hat. So this is Oh My Cowl, and she has Oh My Hat. Well, I decided to make one. Now, here's the thing, and this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Remember I always tell you, don't, just because the pattern says use a 4 or use a 5 or use a whatever size they say to use that, doesn't necessarily mean that's what you have to do. You can do it out of any yarn in any hook. But there's this thing called swatching. And swatching, what it is, and usually a pattern will give it to you. And for instance, in this case, it's gotten a little buried because it got cold. I'm in Oregon, you guys. I don't know where you are, but it's been funky, and it's every winter it's like this. So we get into the mid 40s and then it goes down to freezing and then it comes back again and then it just rains and rains and oh my gosh, it's super fun. Anyway, so in the beginning of patterns, it'll give you lots of things, right? And like I print them up, and this talks about a big shell, medium-sized shell, what those are in the different instructions. And in her case, it talks about the gauge. So right here, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but right here it says gauge 2 pattern repeats by 10 rows equals 4 inches, 10 centimeters in pattern with largest hook. Now, when your pattern designer says this kind of thing, they're not just saying it for no reason. And sometimes it's perfectly okay to ignore it, as in the cowl. Because you can, it's really easy to adjust, or a scarf. It's really easy to adjust the width or the length of whatever you're making, or a blanket, okay? But when you're doing things that are more fitted, that can be a problem. So clothing, hats, gloves, those kinds of things. So I have to show you. Yeah, I'm gonna show you. Okay, so I made the hat to match the scarf. And I don't know if you could tell just by touching it how it's falling off my head because I didn't gauge. So I'm going to take this off so you can see how big this really is. To make it even more obvious, that's how big this really is. Ta-da! Not very pretty, is it? It's too big, okay? And it's supposed to be slouchy. See how it's supposed to be slouchy, but this is more. This is not it, guys. It's just not it. So what happened is I didn't gauge. I got way too excited. I followed the directions just like she said, and I followed her pattern. As you can see, it really is a beautiful pattern. Isn't that gorgeous? And the edge on the hat is really pretty too. Look at that. I really liked that edge. I thought that was a lot of fun. A new technique. I hadn't done this before, and I really like it. I thought it was pretty. So, and it comes to that same, so if, I don't know if you could see that pattern repeat here of a single crochet and a double crochet, and it's the same edging that she has on the actual cowl as well. For the cowl, it wasn't a problem, right? It just turned out beautifully. I can make it any size, but when it comes to the hat, guys, yeah, you kind of have to swatch. So I used a different yarn and I used different hook sizes, and I adjusted my hook sizes for my yarns because she actually calls in this pattern for 4 different size hooks. And so I adjusted for that, but I didn't adjust for the pattern. So swatching is very important. I am going to remake this. So I am going to do what's called frogging, because as you rip it out, it rips out. So I will be frogging this and I will be remaking it. So I will show you guys later in another episode. So again, I mean, it's actually, I kind of like it, except my hair's kind of crazy, but yeah, maybe if I put a pom-pom here and, you know, kind of nuts. but I am going to take it apart because I really would like you to see what it looks like when it's done properly. Here's the picture she has on the pattern, and this is the beanie. This is doing it as a beanie. I wanted to do it as a slouch, and I don't think she has on the pattern here an image, I don't see it, of it as a slouch. But she gives you both options, which is really great, because if you're not a person that's into the slouchy, then you don't want that, and you're not going to enjoy that as much as if you have it as a beanie. So I wanted to show you, because you know what, I make mistakes all the time, and that's one of the wonderful things about fiber arts, is that for the most part, most yarns can be pretty forgiving when it comes to the ripping in and out of yarns. This is an acrylic, so it's super forgiving, even though I did tell you that it does have a little bit of a tendency to split when you're crocheting because of the wrap, but yet it's still forgiving, because I did rip it out a couple of times. Again, I think I told you with the cowl too, I was busy watching other stuff, so I was watching some of my videos that I watch about how to be better at helping you guys and getting this information out to you. So anyway, I will be ripping it out. I will be making a new one, and then I'll show you what it looks like when you do it the right way. Although I don't know, I may wind up coming back to this. We'll see what happens. Doing it that way, and bear in mind it will be smaller because it doesn't need to be that big. I wanted to show you how much yarn I have left of both balls. Okay. So this is actually color A that I used for the cowls and the hat, and this is color B. I did use color B more, which is the creamy white, than I did the pink. So just bear that in mind when you're doing it. And again, I used the Red Heart hygge charm, and the colors were Meteor, and I think the other one was Starlight. So the pinky one is Meteor and the creamy one is Starlight. These are a size 4 yarn, and the recommended hook size is an I9, and that's what I did the cowls, and they came out beautifully. They really did. They super simple and real quick. But the hat goes to show you need to pay attention. All right, well, that pretty much is it for today. I really don't have a whole lot. What are you working on? What faux pas did you have happen to you in not gauging or swatching? That's the other word for it, is swatching and not swatching. I have to tell you, I am horrible when it comes to swatching, because I get so excited and I want to do this right now and I want to get it done, and it's just like run, and then this happens. And let me tell you, this isn't the first time. My husband dies laughing. He is astounded when I actually do make something and I don't rip it out. He just thinks there's something wrong, because I'm always ripping it out. I usually modify patterns quite a bit. I didn't at all on this one. I didn't modify on the cowls at all, and I didn't modify on the hat either. I really did follow it to the T. I just didn't swatch. But yeah, so swatching is really big. That's it for this week. I hope you guys are having a great week. I hope your crochet mojo, your crojo is in full force. I'd love to see what you guys are making. If you've made a cowl or if you've made a hat, please post it down below, share those, or go over to my Facebook. I'd love to see you there. That information is down below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, and if you had fun here, click that like and the little bell so you can be reminded of when the next video is going to come on. This is super fun for me, so I hope it's super fun for you. Next time, I'm really focusing in, and I hope I can really get the whole stitch markers, row counters, differences between the knitters and us, and how that all works together. And that's a really intense project. I didn't realize it was going to be as intense as it is, because I really want to be able to show you how to do a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of information that's going to be there, and I'm really hoping for next week. So we'll see what happens. As far as Hug Day, what'd you do for Hug Day? For my Hug Day, I made my daughter another cowl, right? It's my way of hugging her, because I get to put my arms around her. My other daughter has asked for Get this, my other daughter asked me for a beanie in black. It's around here somewhere, the yarn. So guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be swatching to make sure her hat fits properly. But yeah, so that's how I hug my girls, is I do things for them, and I remind them, what did you do? What was your hug for the day? Was it just a kind word to a friend or a neighbor or coworker, or did you make something? You know, I'd love to hear about what you did. All right, everyone, I hope you have a great week. I know I have, and I look forward to seeing you next week. All right, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit that bell so that you know when it's coming up next. The information on the yarn, the patterns, all of that is going to be down below as well. Come join me over on Facebook, and there's all kinds of fun stuff over there to find out about. All right, talk to you guys soon, and have a great week from Skipper Sandra. Bye!